cruise ship suddenly and slowly disintegrated. A mercenary on the deck seemed to feel the vibration of the ship. While he was still in a daze, the life preserver in front of him suddenly snapped in two. And when he reacted, the man's body was instantly disintegrated. The tower above him crumbled into pieces. At that moment, the captain realized something was wrong. When he got closer, he heard the horrible sound of metal tearing apart. As the sound approached, the wires around him suddenly snapped. The man subconsciously looked down. As the cruise ship continued to move forward, the interior of the ship seemed to be split by a huge force and began to produce huge explosions one after another. John, who was hiding in the rear of the ship, noticed that the mural on the wall suddenly fell down. Then the emergency lights inexplicably went out, and his own clothes were also broken into two. Then the equipment on the side of the ship was instantly destroyed. Before he could catch his breath, his body had already been perfectly cut up. A large amount of tomato juice slowly flowed out from the flat section. And with just a little force, John's body was instantly dismembered. It was as if time had been suspended until the ship had passed through the Panama Canal. But the next moment, it's approaching the shore. The entire hull of the ship seemed to be like a spread of cards, collapsing layer by layer. When the smoke cleared, the ship became a pile of scrap metal. When the police arrived on the scene, they only put out the fire, but not the people. It's because inside the ship, there's a hard disk that could be the key to the survival of mankind. It turns out that these people are a terrorist organization that supports alien domination of the Earth. And they have contacted the aliens through special means. This hard disk is the communication data between the two. That's why the leaders of all countries decided to wipe out this organization. They are now hiding on a cruise ship called Judgment Day. It was clear that now was the best time to kill them. So they decided to wait until the cruise liner passed through the Panama Canal and start the assassination in the narrowest part of the river. Not long ago, a construction team quickly erected 100-meter high iron pillars on either side of the river. Between the two pillars are hundreds of super strong nanofilaments. These wires, known as flying blades in the Jomhu, not only can they cut hair and iron, but they can't even be seen with the naked eye. But there is another flaw in this operation. That is, with the current number of nanofilaments, they can only ensure that the distance between them is half a meter. If you sleep in the middle of the night in a prone position, it is very likely that you will escape the cut, so the operation must be carried out in the daytime, and only in this way can ensure that 100% fail. And to avoid hurting the innocent, each nanowire is fixed by a steel ball, with a wire attached to the other end of the ball. This way, when another ship passes, the steel ball will fall to the bottom of the river, ensuring that both ends of the nanofilaments are immersed in the water. Until the last civilian boat passes, the steel ball in the water is quickly pulled up. Then the steel pillars on both sides of the river were slowly erected, just like the ancient musical instrument guzheng in China. So this assassination operation was named the Guzheng Program. Soon the entire cruise ship entered the assassination circle. At first, there was no change in the entire ship. Only one guard was instantly sliced into pieces. After all, the nano blades were only 1 divided by 10,000, zeroth the thickness of a hair, so no one could even notice. The only sign was a few sparks as the steel plate was cut through. When the nanoblades covered it completely, the entire liner collapsed like dominoes. That's how the opening scene of the story happened. The success of the Kodo program also represents the first victory of mankind against the alien invaders. This is the most exciting scene in the 2023 bodies. In order to organize the contact between the evil organization and the aliens, the humans organized an assassination operation called Kodo. They used ultrafine nanofilaments arranged on the river to silently cut cruise ships into pieces as soon as they passed by. By the time the cruise ship passengers realized something was wrong, their bodies had already been cut into pieces. It was a brilliant assassination. Humanity's first battle against the aliens was won. This story shows us that even a calm river can be full of killing machines, not to mention the unknown universe. The Earth should always be on guard against the unknown. I'm BullDog Movie. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.